This video is powered by patrons. See the link in the description and learn how you can support videos like this. Abstergo is a corporation that started out in pharmaceuticals and has branched into many areas of revenue creation. To the masses, Abstergo is a corporate giant with fingers in all the pies. In private, they are a front for the Templars, a secret order intent on controlling humanity. That line of work is expensive. Their front needs to foot the bill, and the latest attempt to accrue this revenue is to monetize their most ingenious invention.
Connect with the past, relive history.
The Animus has been a secret project for decades, to use genetic memory to source ancient objects of power. But now, they'll record those memories, edit them, and sell them to the masses via their new home consumer console, also named Animus. To the world, the Animus has been created with the exclusive purpose to entertain, under their new division, Abstergo Entertainment.
Using Abstergo's incredible research into genetic memory, Animus gives you the chance to game within the past.
Liberation is their first offering to test the waters before investing in larger, more lucrative experiences. Liberation features the genetic memories of Aveline De Grandpre, a girl who becomes a misguided assassin but is eventually steered towards championing the wonderfully important work of the Templar Order. That is what Abstergo would have you experience, have you believe. Others will stop at nothing to reveal the truth. Before we move on to the story summary of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, how could we not visit the story of Aveline? This young, vibrant and resourceful assassin whose struggles, pains and adventures match even the most lauded of assassins throughout the ages. This is the 6th entry, or maybe the 5.5th entry in my story summary series of the entire Assassin's Creed franchise. I'm the Patient Wolf, and I'm a filmmaker and storyteller, and you can join me as I uncover, contextualize, and explain possibly the greatest and deepest saga in video game history. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be ready for the story summary of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but if you want to watch it straight after this video and support this work, you can do so right now on Patreon via the card appearing now or below in the description. It's finished, it's ready for you to watch. Patrons give me the time and space to create these videos, and in doing so, get to see all my videos up to 4 weeks in advance. Fans of this franchise, as well as other amazing video game stories, become a patron to the channel today to help me make videos like this for you. I'm the Patient Wolf, and this is the story summary of Assassin's Creed Liberation. In the year 1765, around 4 years before Radunagerden set out on his journey to find Achilles, and over 1,000 miles southwest of the Davenport homestead in New Orleans, a young girl awakes from a haunting dream. A dream she has most nights, reliving the moments she last saw her mother. Aveline was an adventurous child. A worry to her mother, she would often wander off as things caught her eye. Her mother, Jeanne, feared the day she would lose sight of her beloved daughter. But on this day, it would be Jeanne that would disappear. A mystery that many years later is still not solved. Aveline missed her mother crushingly, but she was lucky. She had a stepmother that loved her and cared for her. Madeleine.
Shh, ma chérie, shh. A mother worries, even a stepmother.
But from her real mother, she had a keepsake. A locket with Jeanne's likeness within.
Did you forget me? Or are you gone?
Aveline was the daughter of her father, Philippe de Grandpre. businessman and trader of goods between the old and new worlds. On a trading excursion to Saint-Domingue, he returned having purchased a slave, Jeanne. He slept with her, as most white slave owners deemed it their right. But he fell in love, made her his placée, his slave wife, and Jeanne gave birth to Aveline. Rather late in these proceedings, he freed Jeanne from the bounds of slavery, and in turn made Aveline a free citizen of New Orleans, and his daughter for all the world to see. Despite the gossip, mutterings and disdain from peers both in society and business, he adored Aveline with a father's love and would not cover it up, or his love for Jeanne. As Aveline grew, Philippe exposed her to his business dealings and saw an aptitude in her that he encouraged. In quick order, she was given a role in the enterprise, a position she relished, but Aveline also had another role. She was a member of a secret order. Aveline was an assassin, and she never wasted a restless night.
The night has better uses than sleep.
Aveline picks up news from a fellow assassin, Gérald Blanc, at the Pigeon Coop.
We have uncovered news of a plantation from which slaves are vanishing. Our network can find no trace of them. Perhaps you can investigate this mystery from within.
Due to the colour of her skin, Aveline could change her guise to move freely within many circles, with one aim that eclipsed all others: to give liberty to those oppressed and in chains, literal or otherwise. She was lucky enough to be freed. She now lives to free others. Although she was often dressed as a lady of society, today she disguises as a woman enslaved, here to investigate just what is happening to these slaves. Are they escaping? Or are they in danger? Aveline blends with her environment, uses her innate skills she has always had to track one of those missing slaves, Therese.
Who did this?
Therese not liberated but chained and abused by the plantation owner's son. This will not stand. Aveline has been impeccably trained. An assassin now for 6 years, since she was near 13. Although Aveline's secret was kept from her father and stepmother, Aveline and Madeleine recognised a calling in each other to help those that could not help themselves. Therese needed help. Aveline was sure Madeleine could.
While walking, I discovered a woman, a slave.
Where is she?
In a wagon. Outside.
Aveline!
Don't be cross. I knew you'd know the thing to do.
I will see that she is treated in utmost discretion.
Thank you, Madeleine.
If you have any more womanly problems, do not hesitate to see me.
Despite her long night, the day also demands Aveline's attention.
Monsieur Blanc requests your assistance at the warehouse.
Gérald Blanc is the family accountant and a vital part of this small trading empire. But unbeknownst to Philippe, he is also an assassin, and the warehouse offices also double up as the Louisiana Assassin Brotherhood headquarters. Philippe enjoys the leisure that Gérald and Aveline afford him. They capably run the business, and Philippe increasingly lets them do so. They operate in New Orleans, on the bank of the Mississippi River. Due to its prominent position, it has become a booming centre of trade of all things, none less so than slavery. Money here flows, and the city is an epicentre of power struggle between the world's superpowers of Spain and France, and in 1765, the city was transitioning to Spanish rule. It's Aveline's assassin skills that overcome the more tricky elements of business in the city, like lost shipments, pirate activity, and underhand rivals looking to upset trade in the area. And it's usually while navigating these murky waters of business that Aveline finds her best intel on the assassin's greatest enemies, the Templars. And they have their hand in the current transition of power.
Aveline, the documents you found aboard the Rat Captain's ship, I recognize the name. Rafael Joaquin de Ferrer, a known enemy.
How can I help?
He will attend a social soiree at the governor's mansion this evening.
Aveline listens in to the meeting between the Templar Ferrer and Jean-Jacques Dabadi, the governor of Louisiana.
With the Spanish under our spell, the Company Man will at last have the power to fulfill our true purpose.
I will do all I can to smooth the handover of the colony, and your mission will have all the workers it needs.
I drink to the death of the Brotherhood.
This is serious. Templars at the center of power. What is this mission they speak of? And who is the Company Man? De Grandpre leaves. Aveline must know more. The Templar accomplice Dabadi under her blade.
Why does De Ferrer want workers?
I know nothing of his plans. I was to send him slaves and vagrants.
Rest in peace, Gouverneur.
After infiltrating the mansion, slaying the governor, and complicating Templar plans, the town of New Orleans is too hot for Aveline right now. She will seek a moment's safety in the Bayou and meet with her mentor, Agate. In 1759, shortly after arriving in the Bayou, Agate needed to recruit to continue assassin work. He chose Gerald, but also a young mixed-race girl who could navigate and transition between cultural worlds, helping fix cultural problems, Aveline. Now, these swamps where Agate has his hideout currently has its own problems and mysteries.
Deep in the bayou, a dangerous imposter spreads real roots. He calls himself False Mackandal.
For Agate, this name died long ago.
My own mentor, to whose cause I devoted my life. He was put to death by fire. I failed to prevent it.
This imposter has taken and is spreading this name for a reason. But what?
The False Mackandal gathers followers. They attempt to overtake smuggling operations on the bayou. To finance what, I cannot say. Who is this imposter? This you will need to uncover.
Agate has delighted in the evolution of his charge, Aveline. It's time to broaden her skills. Before she embarks on this mission, he trains her in a new weapon for her arsenal, the blowpipe.
You may use this to your advantage, if you approach in stealth.
To find the location of the False Mackandal, Aveline will engage the very smuggling rings that are threatened by this new rival in the swamps.
You give up the river?
Or we take the river.
The False Mackandal's men. She uses a blowpipe and more familiar means to temper this threat. This is Elise Lafleur and her smuggling partner, Roussillon. In gratitude for Aveline's help, they will impart their knowledge of the swamps and help track down the imposter.
I seek the leader of these men. No one knows these waters as you do. In return, I'll restore your control of this territory.
Their help is vital. The bayou's waters are sprawling with often impassable vegetation, obstacles, and dangers.
Well, here it is. The realm of the dead.
With time and the smuggler's knowledge, they track down the imposter, calling himself Mackandal. Aveline and Elise catch a conversation in progress with a familiar face, De Grandpre.
If you make good on your word.
Fear not, Signor. I was trained by...
I know only too well who your master was, Baptiste. Just remember where your loyalties lie.
The imposter's name is Baptiste, and he is presiding over a ceremony for the supporters he has gathered, using superstition and religious fervour to gain loyalty. Baptiste has amassed an army to gain wealth and control and to help the Templars gather help for their cause.
My faithful acolytes, the time of our ritual is now.
Baptiste is known for his knowledge of poisons. As Aveline infiltrates the ceremony, she is prepared. She has already taken the antidote, prepared for her by the witch doctor of Saint-Donge. She has everything she needs to take down this imposter, but why did he take the name Mackandal? Baptiste infects her with the poison. He thinks he has her.
I have captured his pawn. Now he will be forced from hiding.
How do you know Agate?
Baptiste was an assassin, a former slave. He joined the Brotherhood with Agate, and together they were protégés of Francois Mackandal in San Domingue. When Mackandal died, the Brotherhood there disbanded. Agate left for new lands. Baptiste was left feeling lost and betrayed, and with the promise of a new affiliation in the Templars, he was to offer them the head of the Louisiana assassins, mentor Agate, his perceived betrayer. By spreading the name of Mackandal, he had hoped to draw him out. Instead, he drew this girl, now under his control.
The poison fails? When I am done with you, I will destroy your mentor! Look at you, I know it well. The first time Agate betrayed me, it was for the woman, the thief. She wore one just like it.
What was her name? What was her name?
Had Agate kept secrets from Aveline? Did he know her mother all along, the owner of this locket? Abstergo have outdone themselves. What a story! What a mystery! What a debut to launch their new console. This has to be the most significant leap in entertainment media since the invention of cinema. This experience and its subsequent offerings will surely make billions. It needs to. It has been long in the crafting, designing, marketing, and now it has shipped. But it has shipped with an unwanted feature. A bug. The software has been hacked by a group that have been a thorn in the side of Abstergo in recent years. Erudito.
Here is something they did not want you to know.
Little is known about Erudito, a hacker or hacking collective seemingly intent on exposing Abstergo for who they really are. Their work often aligns with the assassins, but the assassins have little intel on Erudito either. The most direct contact to date is an email left in Desmond's inbox, supplying him with his colleague's passwords. Erudito's intent in its latest hack to supply the players of the Animus Console with the truth. Although a wondrous tale, Abstergo are careful to redact any details that reveal the Templars in any light but positive. When the player does as Erudito instructs and finds and assassinates an innocent NPC, usually discouraged by the game, Erudito reveals the truth. In this instance, the content of Therese and Baptiste's conversation before this point.
If you make good on your word.
The conversation that was redacted.
Here is my special Erudito cut.
The nobles of New Orleans shall perish by poison, and the slaves shall be avenged. My mentor's work will be complete.
And control of the river will fall to those who know what to do with it.
Francois Mackandal was put to death by Templars for his attempt to poison the white colonists of San Domingue for their role in slavery. Abstergo is redacting the fact that Baptiste is doing the same here in the Bayou with Templar support. Baptiste looking to complete his master's work, and the Templars looking to cull the powers that prevent them from controlling the region. Aveline has stopped the poisoning, but the Templar plot continues. And the question remains, if Agate knew Jeanne, why did he not tell her so? Her trust in him has faltered. She elects not to ask him directly, but wait and uncover more information. She delivers news of the death of the imposter, redacting her own information, holding back the name Baptiste.
You have destroyed the hornet's nest in the bayou, at least for now.
Years would pass in Louisiana. Aveline would continue to protect her father's business, stamp out cruelty and oppression where it lay, and assist her new friends in the bayou where she could. Aveline failed to reveal any further details as to her mentor's knowledge of her mother until the start of a trail was handed to her by her father, Philippe.
Perhaps you are old enough now.
A solitary page of her mother's diary.
You should have it.
Mama.
Over time, Aveline would track down many more of these pages, and they began to outline a tale. The names were redacted, left only with an initial, but the story was clear. It told of Jeanne's early life as a slave in San Domingue. She formed a relationship with Agate, a fellow slave, and sometime after Mackandal recruited and trained Agate and his friend Baptiste, he attempted to recruit Jeanne to the assassins too. She loved Agate, but despite this, she did not trust these men. She was scared of their rhetoric and their deadly sense of justice. Mackandal asked Jeanne to help them poison her masters, to kill the family. She refuses. Shortly after, she is purchased by Philippe and taken to a new life in New Orleans. Jeanne welcomed this, to escape from the pressure and brutality of these men, but she would continue to live in fear. Agate did know her mother. He loved her once. Aveline will find out more, but for now, there are more immediate matters. There is a discontent brewing in the city. Citizens are unhappy with the Spanish rule. The new governor, Ulloa, rules with a tight grip, and rather than reside in the governor's mansion at the heart of the city, locks himself and his family away in a fort away from the city and its people.
This Spanish governor has placed so many restrictions on trade, even plantation owners are practically begging for an excuse to riot.
Amongst this unrest is instances of people going missing since the Spanish took power.
Torturers! Kidnappers!
We demand answers!
Aveline has heard this tale before a few years back. The then governor promising workers for De Ferre's mission.
I thought we ended that with Gouverneur d'Abadie, but it happens again, and not only slaves now, but laborers, the poor. Where are they all going?
Travelling to the Bayou, it is clear this region is suffering the same problem. Aveline investigates news of transports of people leaving the fort. With Elise's help, they stop the convoy and free the captured people in the fort, but they are not thanked.
Does this mean we don't get aboard the workship?
Where is this workship bound?
Away from this wretched colony forever, that's all I know.
What do the Spanish want with these workers? What are they promising? Are De Ferre and his Templars involved? And where are they taking them? To find out, they must interrogate the man giving these directives in Louisiana, the new governor, Ulloa. The assassins draw him out from his fortified retreat to find out more. Where are these people being taken?
They are not harmed, merely transported to Mexico.
To what end?
The region is rich with relics predating even the Mayans.
Ulloa hands over a decoding lens used to decipher encrypted documents. Aveline spares him.
This is not mercy. I merely leave you to contend with the arsenal of your own employers.
Despite her mistrust, Aveline checks in with Agate, here to report on what she has learned and to hand over this Templar cipher.
Ah, a valuable find.
This will help the assassins learn future plans. But when he learns that she spared a Templar, he is incandescent.
What?
I must follow our enemy to Mexico, now.
You will do no such thing!
I must follow my own instincts.
You will regret your insubordination.
I'll take that chance.
This secret has carved a chasm between them, one that ever widens with anger and betrayal on both sides. Aveline dons her slave guise, tracks down the ship headed for Mexico and steals passage. She will find out what the Templars are up to. Why do they need these people? This ship is bound for Chichen Itza, a site of Mayan heritage. Greeting the arrival of this new batch of workers is the man she has been tracking for years, the Templar, Raphael Joaquin de Ferre.
Welcome, friends, to a new life of freedom, productivity, and peace. Together, we will prosper!
No wonder some were willing travellers. They promised so much. Aveline sees a familiar face.
What a joy to see you here!
Therese, the slave she rescued, that she handed into Madeleine's care. Therese had found her way here.
Are you as happy as they say?
Happier. Our homes are comfortable, food is good and plentiful. It's like Eden.
And in return, the Templars received willing, productive hands for what looks to be an excavation site. They are searching for something. Doing her own digging, Aveline reveals the oppression that occurs if they do not respond to the carrot. Then they will meet the stick. And in listening in, the search for whatever it is they are searching for is not going to plan.
The company man is already displeased. If we had more people, be patient. Vasquez will soon be in place in New Orleans. He will succeed where Baptiste failed.
Another Templar name, Vasquez, but that is back in New Orleans. Here, she meets an escapee and hears something she has been hoping to hear since that day in the market. News of her mother.
Your locket? I've seen one before.
It is one of a kind. My mother made it with her own hands.
The woman who wore the locket was named Jeanne. She was one of the first workers to come here.
Where is this woman? I must see her.
She lived in a private house at the south edge of the camp.
Aveline sets out on the trail. Her mother is on the island. While searching, Aveline also finds more diary pages written as her mother arrived to the island. Like Therese, she speaks of her optimism and being treated well by the Templars. Jeanne worked hard and was eventually given more responsibility as foreman. But like Aveline, she quickly saw malintent under the surface and mistrusted their goals. The Templars are searching for ancient artifacts, and every day the workers failed in producing it, De Grandpre's Impatient showed. Jeanne found the artifact and recognised the similarities with something she had in her possession. While with Agate and the assassins in Saint Domingue before she departed for New Orleans, she took something from the assassins, something valuable to them. They called it the Heart of the Brotherhood. And on travelling to New Orleans, she kept it hidden. Jeanne saw similarities between the heart and this artifact. The same instinct to hide the heart from the assassins rumbles to the surface here as she hides this artifact from the Templars. Jeanne senses its power and trusts neither group to hold it. After she hides the artifact, she hides herself from De Grandpre, and in following her mother's trail, Aveline found a piece of the artifact. These artifacts are from an ancient, advanced civilization from a time before time. The ones who came before, this site created by them. Aveline finds one half of the prophecy disc. But she has been followed. De Grandpre.
How wonderfully useful you are. You find pieces of the prophecy disc, saving me the effort. If you weren't my enemy, I would take you for my friend.
He underestimates Aveline. De Grandpre slain, but the ruin is collapsing. She emerges and is reunited.
Aveline! Maman? You and my heart. I thought you were dead. And carrying the blade of the enemy? Has Agate sent you here to kill me? Kill you? Please understand. They would have killed me. Taken my heart. I never wanted to leave you. Aveline, the disc can never fall into Agate's hands. How do you know him? Why are you so afraid? I'm sorry, Aveline. I hope you can forgive me someday. Mama!
Aveline searched for her mother again, but she vanished. Her search for the other half of the prophecy disc also came to nothing. The colony was now free of Templar rule and free to live as they please. Aveline would return back to New Orleans with half the disc and many more questions. Why is her mother so scared of Agate? Why did she leave? Who is Vasquez? Who is the company man? It is 1771, 2 years since she left for the shores of Mexico. The city has changed. Peaceful, no more rioters. Business is booming. The Spanish seemingly free of Templars and relaxing the laws on the emancipation of slavery.
The Spanish are sympathetic to our aims now. New laws may ease your efforts to help the slaves.
Could it be that for the first time, home holds more comfort than conflict?
Perhaps, but not all is without concern.
There has been strange activity. Men in Spanish uniforms raising havoc in the Bayou.
Are they secretly working for?
That's what we need to find out.
The Templars have been knocked down, but they are getting up. This name heard in Chichen Itza. Vasquez is recruiting to swell the ranks of their dwindled Templar army and take control of the Bayou for the power and wealth it provides. Is Vasquez the company man? She heads to the Bayou to warn Agate, and despite her mother's plea to keep the disc away from him, she still feels a loyalty to her mentor and wants to bridge this gap between them, if not just to know more about his relationship with her mother.
Mentor, I know you have doubted me. But please, my absence has not been in vain. Look what I found.
Contrary to her mother's fears, he does not want it.
You should have left it where it lay. Do you have any idea of its purpose or power?
Someone told me you were looking for it.
You should not allow gossip to infect your mind.
The Templars will be looking for it. Please, send reinforcements to help me retrieve and guard the other half.
No.
Agate will not take direction from this insolent girl who defied him. Despite the sense she speaks and the work she has achieved, the gulf between them remains wide and Agate's blood runs hot. Aveline and her allies disrupt Vasquez's attempt to control the Bayou as best they can, and in doing so reveals that Vasquez and his Templars are planning to take back Chichen Itza from the freed colony. She must return to Mexico once more, to stop the Templars, to perhaps find the next half of the disc, but most importantly, to protect her mother. Her mother has helped shape and galvanize the community here. It is stronger than ever.
Aveline, you have returned.
Maman, you're not afraid of me.
My love is stronger than my fear. You are no assassin. You are my daughter. Will you ever understand why I had to leave?
You thought your life was in danger.
Your father made me free, but I could never be free in Nouvelle-Orléans. Not with the assassins watching.
Are you free here?
No. I traded one enemy for another, and they will not rest until they have what they seek.
The picture is not complete for Aveline. Her mother's fear of the assassins, why she left without saying goodbye. There will be time for answers later. The Templars are closing in on the other half of the disc, and to keep her mother safe, Aveline must draw the Templars from this place. Jeanne gives her daughter a map and sets her on the path.
Fear not, Maman. You will know peace soon.
The second half retrieved. The disc is complete, but Aveline does not seek its power, just its safety and that of her mother's.
Maman, I will return to New Orleans and set everything right. Then I will send for you.
I want nothing more than to be close to you again. But this colony is my place now. The people here need me.
This will not be the last you see of me.
Be careful, my child.
Reconciled, but their purpose will keep them apart for now. Jeanne must protect this haven she has helped create, and Aveline must return to find Vasquez, the company man, and stamp out the Templars from Louisiana for good. But in her absence, her father Philippe has fallen ill.
Do not worry, ma chérie. It is only...
Papa!
The fever has him mistake his daughter for Jeanne.
Why did you leave? I would have married you if I could. You know my arrangement with Madeleine was business. She convinced me. How can you ever forgive me?
Aveline, I need your assistance. It is urgent.
Of course.
She leaves her ailing father. Madeleine has a request. She knows of a slave in need, George.
Is there anything you can do with your business booming and your contacts in the Bayou?
Oui. I will get him to safety, in utmost discretion.
With Aveline's guidance and help from the smugglers, George, an escaped slave, is in safe hands. He is handed over to the Patriots, who are collecting supplies given to them by the Spanish to aid the burgeoning revolution in the north against the Loyalists.
If he's willing to fight, the Patriot cause will be glad to have him.
I will fight for you, sir. Over any cause.
Another slave freed. This is what drives Aveline. Her very soul yearns for the day that all of humanity will be free of its chains, and she yearns to defeat the Templars. In a bid to track down the head of the snake, the company man Vasquez, she attends the captain's ball in the city, hoping he'll be there.
Señorita.
He is.
Why, I do believe the minuet is the next dance, Senor Vasquez.
She has the company man. Aveline lures him to a quiet spot and puts an end to the Templar leader.
Good night, company man.
Company man? No, you are mistaken. She will make you suffer.
This is not her man. It is a woman Aveline seeks. But as the confusion sets in, comprehension must wait as Madeleine delivers grave news.
A ball with your father on his deathbed. Save your words. It is too late. He is gone.
Papa!
I am so sorry. But you had to know with your circumstances that he could not leave you anything. Of course, my house remains open to you.
I care not about his will. Only that he is gone.
His business is in my name, but I consider it yours. The law has no place between us.
Bereft, but she can always rely on Gerald. They will continue the business together, and the cause of freeing as much of this world as they can. But with her rift with Agate, her mother's fear of the assassins, their continued failure to track down the company man, her doubts in the Brotherhood have never been more acute. In the following years, Aveline kept busy but heard no more news of the company man. To distract from her slow, fading grief and break the fugue state she feels these days, she volunteers for a mission to New York to meet a fellow assassin who has news of a Templar, Officer Davidson, who may have information.
Please, go to New York and find your brother Connor.
The year 1777, New York.
Connor?
Yes. Achilles told me you would come.
I seek a loyalist, Officer Davidson.
Their trail leads this way. We will follow them carefully.
Connor has his own fights here in New York. He has helped lead the nation to independence, but still the Templar threat eludes him too. They are both spirits of few words, but they recognise in each other an unbreakable drive to help those that can't help themselves. Connor helps get them to the fort where Officer Davidson takes shelter. They infiltrate, but the Templar officer is the very man she helped free just the year earlier.
What? George?
Officer Davidson, if you would kindly pay me the respect my rank commands now. The Loyalists have guaranteed my freedom. Charity should begin at himself, Miss Aveline.
She must know more.
Who is the company man?
The answer has been in your own backyard all along. Just open your eyes.
In an instant, she does, seeing what she should have seen all along. As Vasquez said, the company man is a woman. The same woman that bid her to get George to safety in the north. The same woman that promised to keep Therese safe, though she turned up in Templar captivity. Aveline must return and confront the company man, the leader of the Louisiana Rite of the Templar Order, her own stepmother, Madeleine de Lille. It was uncovering further pages of her mother's diary that painted a fuller picture. In 1752, despite Philippe's love for Jeanne, the secret Templar, Madeleine convinced him to marry her for the sake of his failing business. Madeleine used Jeanne's fear of the assassins to convince her that they were here to harm her. For the sake of her child, for the sake of her own safety, she left instantly, trusting that Madeleine would tell Aveline and assure her of her mother's well-being. Because Madeleine had gotten to know Aveline, she had love for her, but she saw her capabilities and natural skills and earmarked her for another purpose. And with Jeanne out of the way, she could have a firmer hand in raising her. In her stepdaughter's eyes, Madeleine was a loving mother and a caring, progressive soul that ached for the abolition of slavery, as she did. But she was not rescuing them. She was diverting them for the Templar cause.
You may quit your maternal act, company man.
Do you think that I do not know where you go when you climb through your window? As if you could conceal your true self from me. Join me, Aveline. Finish what you started. At ease.
My whole life you lied to me.
I am sorry. It was necessary. Am I really so strange to you? I cannot let the assassins waste your talents. Your aims match mine. Join me, Aveline. Finish what you started.
This is not the meeting she went over in her head on the long journey back from New York. Their aims don't match. She does not believe that. But she still sees the loving, caring stepmother that gave her so much solace over the years, and Aveline's fractured state from her brotherhood, her mentor. She leaves her stepmother and journeys to see her mentor. She is filled with anger for her stepmother, for Agate, but can he give her the clarity she needs?
Agate!
The student returns.
I have discovered the identity of the company man.
What? Did you not kill him years ago?
That was not the company man. All along, my own stepmother, Madeleine, was the company man.
Iniquity runs in the family.
He makes to escape in a haze of hallucinogens. Aveline fights through its effects. Agate had been too long in the swamps amongst the solitude, reptiles, and voodoo, and his poisons. His life had been a series of perceived abandonments. Jeanne left him, taking their artifact. Baptiste defected to the Templars, and now in his anger and his rage, he arrives at his own conclusion about his protégé. She has betrayed him. She has been turned. His Aveline is a Templar. She corners her mentor at the top of his hideout viewpoint.
Mentor, do not force my hand. The Agate who trained me is a man of truth and courage.
I should have stayed with your mother, raised you as a daughter, not twisted into this monster.
Agate left San Domingue after Mackandal was put to death to find Jeanne. He and Jeanne had to end their relationship. He needed to choose the Brotherhood. He regretted leaving the woman he loved and needed to rekindle what they had. When he arrived, searching for her, Jeanne had already left. She left behind a daughter. He would stay close to protect her, train her for Jeanne. But years later, atop Agate's hideout, the gap between them is unbridgeable.
Go now, Agate. Run, and promise never to return.
You would bid me a coward's death? I will not live with the dishonor!
Agate! No!
The necklace of her former mentor. Aveline will take it as an offering to her new mentor. Proof that her allegiance is forever fractured and now dedicated to a new one. Aveline meets her stepmother and a gathering of the entire rite of the Louisiana Templar Order for a ceremony. To further prove her new allegiance, she hands over what the Templars have been seeking for years, the prophecy disc. Aveline De Grandpre is inducted into the Templar Order to embrace a new cause.
My daughter, you are one of us now. May the Father of Understanding guide us.
May the Father of Understanding guide us.
Aveline is a Templar. That is what Abstergo Entertainment would have us believe. But Erudito's hack reveals the redacted.
It does not work! We have all the pieces, I am certain of it. Why can't I understand?
Because there is something missing. An amulet that Aveline has possessed all along. To her mother, it was the heart of the Brotherhood. To Aveline, it was hidden in a locket given to her by her mother. Despite her identity crisis at being an assassin, Aveline had no intention of joining the Templar Order. She tricked them all to this ceremony to eradicate them from Louisiana and to kill the Company Man, her stepmother, Madeleine.
I see through you. My daughter. Only two people can call me that. You banished one and sacrificed the other.
Aveline had surmised the truth at her father's demise, remembering her father's complaint at Madeleine's potions and that deadly plant at her father's bedside.
Foxglove, you killed my father with your care and your tonic. I will not serve you. No!
With all the pieces united, the prophecy disc complete. This is a first civilization recording device. Aveline watches the message recorded on the prophecy disc tens of thousands of years ago.
Eve will lead us through the war of generations.
There will be great sacrifice, great sorrow to end the enslavement of the human race.
These are not the ones who came before. Not an advanced species, but human. This is a moment in time from our earliest ancestors. After Eve broke free of the shackles of servitude at the hands of her masters, escaped with the apple of Eden, their tool of control, it sparked an uprising. This is the moment that Eve is elected to officially spearhead that revolution.
Now is the time to claim our freedom. Eve will lead us.
Eve will lead us.
The start of humanity's very first revolution. The first of many throughout the ages. Like the one that exists in North America at this moment. Like the struggle for the emancipation of slavery. Aveline's own revolution that she will never cease to spearhead. She remains an assassin and will work with the network her and Gerald have created, but that is just a means for Aveline. To her, it matters not that she works under an assassin banner, for she remembers a conversation she had with a fellow assassin in the snow outside New York.
Connor, are you always certain in the means and ways of the Brotherhood?
I trust my own hands.
That is what Aveline will do. To trust her own judgment, her own compass, and not get bogged down by title or belonging. Like Connor, Aveline is an assassin, but above all, she fights for freedom. That was Abstergo's first foray into genetic memory entertainment. And although the Abstergo console was shipped with Erudito's bug built in, it was likely quickly patched and covered up expertly. The populace delighted with this new way to kill time and aching for the next installment on the horizon. And if you would like to watch the story of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you can do so right now over on Patreon, where supporters of this channel get to watch every video ad-free and up to 4 weeks in advance. Click the link and continue this saga. Like the video if you have not, subscribe and hit the bell to be informed of when Black Flag is released here on YouTube, and check the video linked on the screen now, and many other videos like this listed in the description below. I'm the Patient Wolf, and this has been the story of Assassin's Creed Liberation.